time that the South Africans are having this kind of attack on Nigerians and other African citizens that are resident in South Africa. And also, as a way of background, you need to know that as South Africa was once colonized by the whites, and then it is the African continent or the African people, government and people of other African nations that come together and assisted South Africa to be self-dependent, to say now, that is to say for the blacks to now have their own freedom and liberty to operate as humans and citizens of South Africa. Nigeria played a very vital role. I remember when we were in primary schools and things like that, there is this write-up in each class, you see apartheid, a crime against humanity. And then in Kaduna here, everywhere you go, in every primary school, in every secondary school you go, you find that write-up, apartheid, a crime against humanity. Also, as school children, I'm also aware that pupils contributed money, their money for break, to that effect, I mean, getting money to send to South Africa. Recently, if you listen to what President of Ghana said when he was the President of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari, he lamented on such things that he guess the younger generations of South Africa are not aware of how South Africa come to be self-dependent today. That was why they are doing what they are doing. Otherwise, African citizens or African people should have been worshipped by South Africans, not attacked as they are being attacked right now. Because if for anything, by the grace of God, we as Africans gave them that liberty that they are enjoying today. Otherwise, they would have been slaves in their own country right now as I speak to you. So, but for the reactions of the federal government, I think for the first time, a lot of people are commending the president and his team, possibly as they met with the vice president and the minister for foreign affairs. They come to the conclusion and the agreement that something tangible needed to be done. Otherwise, the occurrence or reoccurrence of this very issue will continue to show its face, and then if that continues, that will be bad. And like you said, the closure of ShopRite, MultiChoice, and DSTV, and then MTN and things like that. Yes, I think Nigerians are kind enough. Nigerians are very humane. That was why, if you look at what happened in South Africa, it was maiming and killing, destruction, and then things like that. But it didn't happen in Nigeria here because we are law-abiding citizens. Just right here, Comrade Amoke led a peaceful protest. If he were to be a South African or wants to behave like a South African, the protest that he led yesterday would have been violent, but it was very, very peaceful. All that matters is just to send the signal and send the message, tell the government and the people of South Africa that Nigerians are worried, Nigerians are not happy, and that we also can attack South African investment. And don't forget, Nigerian investment in South Africa, the total investment of Nigerians in South Africa is just about 500 million naira equivalent, but the investment of South Africans in Nigeria is about 20 billion naira, $20 billion. Compared, if you look at MTN, if you look at DSTV, if you look at ShopRite and other establishments, it's worth about $20 billion, while that of Nigeria is just about 500 million naira. So who do you think will be the loser if as they are doing, if Nigerians will do, or as Amoke led the protest yesterday, if you do what the people were doing, what do you think would have happened? So I think for the first time, the president has shown really concern. Nigerians are appreciative of his move. We hope, we don't pray such things will continue to happen, but in any case, if any such thing happen again, the president will be as proactive as he is now. You don't need to wait until after 2 days before reacting. Immediately it is happening, you attack immediately. And don't forget, if you go to US or UK or China, attacking one citizen of one of these countries outside the shores of America, for example, is as good as attacking the whole America. And the president will come out and will threaten the country that if you kill my citizen, I will fight you. But here, so many are being killed, and then It was after some days, and then they are sending delegation. They are not even yet to go. They are going tomorrow. Otherwise, the normal thing is the South African president should have flown into Nigeria and seek for forgiveness from Nigerian government and people. But that is not being done. But all the same, at least there is an action. I guess it's a gradual process. We know the president to be a military man, maybe because of his being now a democratic leader. Possibly that was why he's taking things as easy as they are. But there are actions.
Will have to be applied.
Yes, but there are situations that you don't look democratic. You can even look Draconian or whatever. What matters is the situation to be calm.
All right, just Comrade Moke, before I come to you, let's quickly also introduce another guest who just joined the discussions. I did tell you another guest will be joining the discussion. If you have just joined us, you're onto the program National Agenda, which is coming to you live from DITV studios. And on the program this morning, the issue or the focus of the agenda is attack on Nigerians in South Africa, reactions and response. Barrister Zubair Abubakar just joined us. He has taken his seat already. Zubair Abubakar is a legal practitioner and a public affairs analyst. Barrister, good to have you.
It's a great pleasure, Mr. Uche. Thank you very much. I apologize for coming late.
Well accepted. We understand. All right, Comrade Amoke, let's look at the issues. Of course, yesterday you were the convener of the Foundation of Youth Groups condemning these senseless attacks on foreigners and Nigerians. And some of the resolution the group took just hours after that, it was confirmed by the Minister of Foreign Affairs, of course. Some of these issues, like issues of, you talked about the issue of paying compensations, and also raising some other issues. First, let's look at the attacks for you, even as a youth. Like he said, if your group or such groups are to react the way South Africans did, maybe you wouldn't have been here looking at some of these issues, and also the reactions and responses, particularly by the federal government.
Good morning, viewers, and thank you for having me in DITV. It's actually unfortunate for the South Africans and the government of South Africa to actually turn the xenophobic actions into a culture. It's turning gradually into a way of life for them, because it's reoccurring almost every time. It's when it becomes so massive that it cuts the attention of the media, and that is when we hear about them. But there are pockets of these killings of Nigerians and other nationals in South Africa that the news don't always come.
And also other countries, of course.
And other citizens of other countries, of course. And the most painful part of this is you see the police that are supposed to be